Hi, I'm Dennis. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install an island-mounted range hood without going into the hot and dusty attic. The first step is to inspect and test your range hood to make sure there was no damage during shipping. Step 2 is to mark the ceiling bracket on the ceiling. The second thing you want to do is find and mark the center point directly above your cooktop. You might want to use a plumb bob to do this. 3. Place the ceiling bracket on the ceiling around the center point. Make sure it is square with your cooktop. 4. Trace the outline of the ceiling bracket onto the ceiling. Next, trace a circle where the ducting will go. And that last step is to mark the 4 corners where the screws will go. Now that we have our bracket marked on the ceiling, and we have our 4 holes marked where we're going to drill the holes, we could cut out the center part up on our ceiling, and then we want to mount our bracket. Let's suppose this is our ceiling, and these are our rafters in the ceiling, and our bracket goes somewhere in here. If it's in here, there's no way to support it. Drywall will not hold our range hood. It's just too simply heavy and bulky. So our solution, simple solution, is to take, if our rafters are 2x4, we take a 2x4. If the rafters are 2x6, we make it out of 2x6. We take a 2x4 in our case, overlap it on each side so that it fits in between our rafters like that in the front, and then we have another one that we put in the back, the width of our bracket, so that when we mount our bracket underneath, we have something to screw into. Now that we have our hole cut in the ceiling, we're going to put our support brackets in. We don't need to get up into the ceiling to do this. We just take our brackets. Since our rafters are running this way, our brackets are going to be like this. So we simply take them, put them up into the hole, right above where the screw holes are, on both sides. And now we have something to mount our bracket to. Now that we have our wood support in place, it's kind of loose up there, so let's give it some strength and support it underneath. 4 screws, maybe 2 on each side, just to support it from going upward. And now we can mount our bracket. Make sure that you've had your ducting already up to this point so that our ducting will connect to it, and that you have your electrical already coming down through the hole to connect to our range hood. This mounting bracket with the many holes has 2 small holes at the top. Those are the ones that we want to put on the ceiling. There are 4 screw holes for each one. Next step is to install the inside ceiling bracket, making sure that the mounting brass things are at the top. The open screw holes at the bottom. Now we have to decide how tall this is going to be from the ceiling. So we have a simple formula.
First, you have to measure the height from the floor to your ceiling. In this case, it's 8 feet or 96 inches. Next, subtract the height of your stove, which is usually 36 inches. Next, subtract the clearance that you would like between the stove and the bottom of the hood body. We recommend 26 to 30 inches, and in this case it is 28 inches. Last, subtract the distance from the bottom of the metal hood body to the lowest mounting screw hole where the mounting bracket will connect. This measurement varies between the models, and in this case, with the glass model, it is 5 inches. Once you have subtracted these measurements from the ceiling height, you will be left with the length of the mounting bracket from the ceiling that you will need. In this case, it is 27 inches.
Now that we have all our mounting brackets in place and our screws in, which you can leave a little loose because we may do some adjusting later, the next step is to install the range hood to the mounting bracket. Now in our case we have a glass model, so before we install it up here we have to put the glass on top of the range hood. So there are 4 screws, one in each corner. I'm going to take the 4 screws out and carefully lift the glass up over the range hood so that the holes line up. We're going to put all 4 screws back in the holes to secure the range hood. To install our range hood up under the brackets, very difficult for one person to do. If you are a professional, they usually have jacks under here that they can jack it up underneath. But for our demonstration and for a home use owner, usually going to take 2 people to install it. But again, the brackets might not be straight up and down, so we're going to tilt the range hood kind of back first to get the front 2 in, and then lift the back ones up. Now that we have all the screws tightened, we're going to check our hood to make sure that it's level. So we put our level under the hood, and if we have to change the level, we simply loosen these screws, push it up or down. Same thing sideways, loosen the screws. Once we have it level, make sure all the screws are tight. Next we're going to connect our duct system, wrap it in tape. We're going to connect our electrical supply up through into the attic, and then we're going to test our range hood. Our range hood installed, secure, 90% complete. Our last step is to install the chimney. Now most other manufacturers, you'd have to have the chimney installed already. Our XtremeAir design chimney comes in 4 pieces. The 2 tall pieces are for the inside chimney, and the 2 smaller pieces for the outside chimney. Notice that the one also has a curved bottom. I want that at the bottom. I'm going to install the inner chimney, the taller one that has the hole at the top. So we're going to take our bracket, slide it around the side, and just let it sit down. Next we're going to install the front chimney piece. Make sure our vent holes are at the top. Again, we're going to start it around one edge, slide it around the other. The hook goes into the slot. It's fastened together. Lift underneath the back section and put the screw in the hole and tighten it in. On both sides. Next we're going to install the outer chimney, and again it comes in 2 pieces. We're going to start with the piece that has the slots. Okay. When we're mounting it, we don't want to scratch the chimney that's already up there, so we're going to take 2 pieces of cardboard like this, and we're going to go up the back, pull the pieces apart, and pull it onto the chimney. As you can see, I put cardboard on both sides of the glass and on the back, and you can see when I put my outer chimney back, I have the 2 pieces of cardboard so that when I slide it forward, it will not scratch the inner chimney piece. Now I'm going to slide it all the way in. Once I get it in place, then I take the cardboard pieces out. I install the front section. Notice I have the cardboard in between. On both sides I have the cardboard underneath. Again, I push it back on both sides. Once I get it all the way in, I pull the cardboard out again, and I make sure that this piece is inside the slots on the back section piece. Once everything is lined up and in the slots, simply let it down and remove the cardboard. Our last step is to install the oil collection tray. And our baffle filters. Slide up and back and down. This completes our installation video. I want to thank you for watching.